Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the Extreme Stream with your host, XtremeCold Crazy. I am sorry that I have not uploaded in a couple of days because I'm busy and I barely even had time to upload this, but I just thought I should give my 2 cents in on who is the best who are the best ADCs as of right now in Smite as patch 3.14. Now, I guess without further ado, we should get into it since I really don't have any have that much longer. But for number one, I want to go say is FREYA. Now, FREYA has the ability to be played in mid and in the duo lane. She can outbully other ADCs out. It's weird because she is a melee magical, but her 2 basically gives her the ability to shoot at long range, which can slow enemies. On top of that, she gets access to Haste and Fatalis. Why? I don't know. Meaning she can slow you to death and erase your health with Pulse. Which I'm pretty sure people know the opposite end of Pulse. On top of that, she has Irradiate, whatever, which basically buffs her basic attacks to do magical damage. Now, this coupled with this, because it turns her basic attacks into ranged attacks, which basically adds on magical damage, gets basically buffed and can erase people's health. And then she has Banish, which is basically her form of escape, and also Valkyrie's Desecration is basically her form of escape too. That's kind of an alt. Her Freaky, basically she just flies up in the air. She could just rain bombs. 240 per blast, plus 35% of your magical power. Pretty standard. Banish just basically puts up people in the air at max at 2 seconds. And Freya's necklace grants her additional magic lifesteal. So basically, she has built-in lifesteal, so she has built-in sustain, which is really good early game. She can get haste and fatalis, and on top of that, mages have items that give them more damage than your average hunter, which is really crazy. I think the reason why I put her down this low on the list is because I feel like she's really good as mid, just maybe a tad bit better at mid. But she can still play both roles very, very effectively. And I've seen more Freyas at mid than ADCs, but that's just me personally. Her banish. If a person has beads, they can just pop beads and still catch up to you if your ult's down. And you're really reliant on banish and your ult just for escapes, which aren't really going to be they aren't going to be reliable because ult 90-second cooldown, banish is pretty much that's going to be your main form, but you're not going to get any speed boost, or you're not going to get very far if they have beads, or they can easily catch up to you. So I feel like that's why FREYA is number 5 and not higher. But she really is very strong, played in the right hands, and have seen a lot of play and a lot of success during the Epsilon Invitationals, which to my understanding, I to my understanding, it's pretty goddamn good. Very, very good. And I would put her higher in this list, but I just feel like the other gods can be played to a higher degree than what she can be played. But anyways, we're just gonna move on over to our main forms of attack defense attack damage carries. Why did I say attack defense carries? What the hell? what are they really defending besides like left lane? Well, that's supports that are defending. Anyways, next on our list is my buddy, my old pal Apollo, and I still think Apollo can be played at that nice A plus tier. I know he got knocked down from S because of the removal of Golden Bow, but I feel like he still has he can outbox most hunters, if not all hunters. He has that global ult, so he can split push. So he's always going to have a presence during the game. His kit does way too much. And yeah, I feel like with his bloated kit, his nice escapes, and he has so much mobility, and he can run and gun you, especially with haste and fatalis. It's really good and just outbox you in every way. I feel like he would make a really good number 4. He would have been higher if Golden Bow was still here, but sadly Golden Bow is not here. By sadly, I mean thank God, because hunters are way too OP with that. But hey, Apollo is my main form of carry, and he's basically the first god I got diamond in pretty much like one of the first gods I would start out playing Smite with. So he holds a very special place in my heart. Anyways, his main form of clear, it will be so beautiful, which basically it hits enemies in a very long range line, and successive enemies take 15% reduced damage. So this reduces enemy damage by 15%, which is very good. Apollo will mez people for 2.3 seconds, and what a mez does is basically if they get hit while they're stunned, they will automatically pop out of it. But this is a really good escape because you can mez a person and then just leave and have 2.3 seconds. This will also give you physical protections, and at max will give you 50 physical protections, and the buff will last 5 seconds. So this has saved me trying to get under tower. I just popped my Serenade when I was very low health to get that bonus protection, so I can make it under tower, and I was pretty much good to recall. So if you learn to time your Serenades, you can be a better Apollo player. Also, this Serenade is really good on just closing and just crowd controlling. Like, if there's a lot of gods near you, just pop this and you can escape if it's in an unfavorable position. This can help during team fights. This can help just closing in on a 1v1 encounter. This is just really good, all in all. And his basic getaway or initiation move, which is called the moves, which is a dash that does 250 damage and also will increase your movement speed for 2 seconds, and the movement speed will be at 25%. It will also decrease enemy movement speed by 25%. Basically, just slowing them down. It does 250 damage, and that's kind of insane. That damage is pretty insane on him. And increasing your movement speed. So that's pretty much his main abilities, and then you have Across the Sky, which is basically 170 damage per tick, and on the 0.8 seconds he lands. Basically, this could be used to position yourself on the map. You can move lanes really quickly with this. This can be used as escapes. I've seen it before. And this can basically tower dive a person from the sky, crash on them down, kill them, and then you just use the moves to dash out, taking minimal damage from the tower. Really good. This is a really good ult. The only problem with this ult is it takes The cooldown is insane. That's 110 cooldown in 90 seconds at maximum cooldown. And plus, this ult takes so long to actually start up and gives you no invincibility frames or anything. I think the only thing that really benefits you from using this is you can't be your CC immune, and that's it. Audacity is his passive, which basically after 10 successful basic attacks, Apollo gains 100% attack speed for his next 5 basic attacks, whether he hits or miss. So better want to make your 5 basic attacks count. This is the reason why you can basically outbox any hunter. Because 100 attack speed means he can attack you way faster in the early game than what you can to him. Plus, he has protections already built in on him, so you know. That's kind of a thing. Anyways, that's why I feel Apollo is number 4 on my list. And now we're going to move on to number 3, which is NEITH. I feel like NEITH is very easy, and judging by her damage output, she can do a lot, like, just... NEITH is stupid. She's a stupidly easy god. She basically is a really good beginner for all hunters, but she's super good. Very good. Like, her spirit arrow is her main form of clear, and it does 350. That's like a whole 50 points more than Apollo's main form of clear. So she can clear the wave very, very early. The power spike is real, plus 90% of your physical power with a 2-second root. Plus, if you backflip and leave the little ring, you can use Spear Arrow and blow it up, rooting nearby gods in the vicinity. So you can root like multiple gods. So that's going to be what experienced NEITH players and more mastered, or like, you know, yeah, just basically more experienced NEITH players have on just regular normal NEITH players, because they'll learn how to use the backflip trap to their advantage. Next thing you know, she has her sustain, which is unravel, which basically it does so much. It does 190 plus 80% of your physical power, which that may not be a lot, but you also have to take account for it heals you at 80 plus 50% of your physical power as of max level. The weave heal is 160 plus 30% of your physical power, so it heals on top of healing you on the weave. Freaking freaking the debuff lifetime 6 seconds, and then you have the attack speed debuff you give to enemies, which is 30%, which is pretty good. In 2 ways, and then this is basically her. Wait a sec. Yeah. Also, she can pop unravel on the backflip weaves, which are these little circles, to where she can gain health from those, and that's the 160. That's the 160. So basically, you can just if you have pretty good health and you can just set up your weave traps and you're in a predicament, you can just pop your freaking traps just to get you know, health, or you can keep on backflipping under tower and slowly regain health, which, I mean, I still like to run Aussie on NEITH. I know it's people are gonna say, like, why are you running Aussie when she already has built-in lifesteal? And the only reason why is because of the attack speed, the pin, and I don't want to always be reliant on my abilities. I want to save them for when I can secure a kill, other than just, farming off life. And I'd just rather have, the extra boxing potential with a lifesteal of basic attacks than always having to rely on just Unravel for my main forms, because that means I'm gonna just use Unravel once, get some form of health back, but then have to wait till the cooldown is done. So I'd rather keep up my health, like keep getting health every auto attack I get. And backflip is going to be your main form of escape, which basically, since it's a leap, you get invincibility frames. This will slow people, which is 4.5 seconds, so that's a long slow, and slows them for 25% of their movement speed. It does 220 plus 80% of your physical power, so it also does damage. And even if you're getting really mad at Odin cages, you can backflip out of it. So yeah, NEITH has one of the safest escapes in the game. And then her ultimate is World Reaver, which she can fire an arrow at any point on the map, and it will basically hit a person no matter where they are, just target on their icon, and it does 490 plus 120% of your physical power, and will stun for 1.5 seconds. Experienced NEITH players will know when to use this to help other players in their opposite lanes while staying in the duo lane, other than, just wasting it on like a person in their lane and just trying to secure the kill, which is fine. It's going to be more beneficial if you use World Weaver to help other lanes that need it, or wait to use World Weaver to pick off a very low target trying to run away. That's going to be basically the difference between experienced and new NEITH players. Broken Weaves are her passives, which basically a broken weave appears, which are the circles with the shiny circles. What she leaves backflip, which basically lasts on a location that each enemy god dies. So even if she kills a person, a broken weave will form. If she backflips, a broken weave will form. The broken weave will give her ability secondary effects, which, when used on the broken weaves, these weaves last for 1 minute, which is pretty long in Smite. But yeah, I feel like she's very easy and very simplistic to pick up, but she also has that freaking skill ceiling where you have to be technical with their broken weaves to make NEITH like just outright very powerful. So I feel like she can be picked up by any person beginning the game, and any person, just looking for more competitive. She more competitive, wants someone to be taken to ranked or tourneys, and I feel like NEITH is a really good pick if you don't know which ADC you want, because of just the sustain, the CC, the freaking tech with the weaves, and how you need to use them. She's just a good god in general, just for experience and newer players, and that's why she's number 3. Going on to our number 2 will be Rom. I feel Rom has gotten some buffs. His CC is stupidly good. He is being played very high in the competitive scene, to the points where I've seen him being placed in S tier. He is just so good. I need to learn how to play Rama or Rom, but that day will come later. Right now, the reason why Rom is number 2 and probably can be switched out to for number one, very situational reasons, is because Astral Strike allows him to switch to more powerful arrows that basically pierce and slow enemies. And basically, the slow is 10%, time slow is 2 seconds, and it has 55 bonus damage. The slow can be stacked up to 3 times, meaning that's a 30% slow if it's stacked up. The damage from the ability reduced 75% for each enemy hit after the first. Huh. Oh, because these arrows do deal bonus damage, so it kind of goes, it increases over time, which Rama is a pretty hard character to learn, so I feel like you need to take time trying to learn Rama. You can't really just pick him up. His pick me up is basically anytime an enemy is hit by an astral arrow, there's a percentage chance that the astral arrow pickup will appear on the ground. Only procs on the first enemy hit by astral strike. The pickup adds 1 arrow to Rama's astral arrow count. He gains attack speed. This attack speed can go up to 50%. So, I mean, it's not Apollo's attack speed where it's 100%, but I feel like you're going to get this 50% attack speed more often than you can get Apollo's 100% attack speed with his audacity. This also adds your freaking arrow, the drop chance for your arrow pickups are 50%, so this really goes hand in hand with his kit. Rolling Assault basically just does bonus crippling damage from the astral arrow. Notice how everything is pretty much relying on your one. This will do bonus damage. This will also 2% cripple, or 2 seconds cripple, and the target and next basic attack will consume an astral arrow that cripples the next target and deals bonus damage. Rama incurs no movement penalty during the shot, meaning this is basically a built-in haste and fatalis. He can stay on you and keep on doing bonus damage just to power up a slow, which is really annoying. And then if you're really good at Astral Barrage, which is one of the hardest, ults in the game, I do believe, because I have just kind of grown accustomed to dodging this, but if you're really accurate and you can guess where your opponent goes, he shoots 3 powerful arrows to the ground. Each successful shot increases in damage from 50% of 600 to 75% of 600 to 100% of 600 at max. And that is attacking 3 times with a decreasing AoE size of 30, 20, and 15. This is one of the more skill-based ults, but like the pros, how they can hit it, it just does insane amounts of damage, because that's 600 plus 60% of your physical power if you hit it on, and that's just by hitting the last one. That's not including the 50% attack and the 75% one. This is just like, if you hit the last one, it's 600. So that's like 600 plus the first 2 if you can hit it. Astral Quiver is his passive. Rama's Astral Quiver generates an astral arrow every 12 seconds. Also, every basic attack that Rama lands will reduce the amount of time to generate an arrow by 2 seconds. Astral arrows are used with his other abilities, so basically all of his kit works hand in hand with basically Astral Strike, and then trying to pick up and just drop arrows on the ground just for crippling effects. His cripples are just so out of this world. So you almost can't really escape from a ROM. You just basically get slowed and he catches up to you. He has the built-in haste and fatalis, and he can catch up to you and probably outbox you. He can freaking jump up in the air and stay safe and just snipe you if he's really good and just destroy your life. And that is why Rom is number 2 on our list. Now, before we get to number 1, we're going to get to honorable mentions, and then I will recap it at the end. Our honorable mentions are Jingwei. I felt it was really hard for me to not place Jingwei in this. I felt like it was really hard for me not to place Jingwei on this list because the recent buffs she's been getting and I have the recent play she's been getting in competitive and stuff like that. But I feel like, to my better judgment, I feel like Airstrike is really easy to dodge. Explosive bolts are like she's like one of the only people that can have 100% crit chance, but because of this. But I feel like she can get easily outboxed. Just get easily outboxed. I've done it before, and then she has that one knock up to her, which is this, that she basically uses as utility. I feel like it was just really hard for me because I haven't really seen Jingwei really out. Okay. When I say this, I'm saying it from my own personal appearance. I have not really seen a Jingwei best me when I play Apollo or any other carries, just because the other carries have like some form of really good CC or wave clear or just AoE, and then she comes in with really good crit, somewhat of just a safe escape, but doesn't really do anything, and then this persistent gust, which is kind of easy to dodge, which will do 50 damage per tick. She'll get an attack speed buff at 40%, and then the initial damage is 290, which I feel like this is pretty easy to dodge if you're just not really running at her. You pretty much need to learn when to put this down, i.e. escaping or trying to attack or just trying to disrupt a person. But I just feel like the other hunters have just more bully potential, and that Jingwei really doesn't have. We'll have to wait to see. I might redo this list if I see her potential is more than FREYA's, but at this time, I feel like FREYA can just bully you to the point where just you can't even get it into lane. Because I feel like FREYA did more than Jingwei, just a little more than Jingwei, and that's why I gave number 5 to FREYA and not to Jingwei. But Jingwei would be a 6. She will be literally a really close 6 to really close, like to almost 5 on my list, and that is why I say Jingwei is number 5. Also, her passive is when exiting the fountain, Jingwei prepares for takeoffs and ascends to the sky, which basically she can fly over obstacles with increased speed and CC immunity, so she can get to field really, really fast. But you know. Also, I felt that I would need to mention. I don't know. I felt like I should give a honorable mention to ANHUR. ANHUR has always he has always been pretty good. Impale is a really good wave clear, doing 350 plus 80%. It's just me. I didn't give it to him. He's really slow. He really needs that attack speed. And it's just like, you can dodge. If you're really good at dodging, you can dodge his attacks because he's really slow. So he needs all that attack speed for boxing. He's really good early game because of his built-in physical protection debuffs to the enemy, so you can shred protections like that. And if you're good, you can impale a person with the shifting sands. And he has a leap, which is okay. All in all, I just felt like his boxing potential, he's just really too slow. And that's my main gripe about him. I know a lot of people like him, but I just feel like ANHUR doesn't need to be on this list yet. But let alone, he is a very powerful early game god. So, I mean, if you're good with him, kudos to you. I feel like he's okay. He doesn't really come close to like the top 5 people I said on this list, but he's not exactly terrible or trash. So I felt like he deserved a mention for this. Now, finally, number uno is, of course, your boy Hoi numero uno. Why did I say number uno? Number one is Hoi, of course, just because Sun Touch. He can't take a critical hit again for 3 seconds after being critted. And since crits are coming back in the meta, this can hard counter Jingwei. This can basically hard counter everyone that's using crits since it's back in the meta. Ricochet is arguably one of the best jungle camp clears because of the bonus damage per bounce. If you're getting really good at bouncing, you can basically kind of drain a person's health. Damage starts at 230, and it will gain 50% bonus damage per bounce of a maximum of 2 bounces prior to, like, first shot. So it keeps on scaling in power like that. Mark of the Golden Crow is a good debuff because it basically marked enemies can take extra damage for every 10% of their missing health from Hoyi's abilities and basic attacks. And at rank 3, enemies are visible to Hoi on the mini-map, including stealth gods, which this is a really good counter to Loki and really good counter to Ao Kuang, because Ao Kuang is S plus tier or like S tier last time I checked. It was either one of those. Now Kwang is OP and just played a lot, so this is really good for just knowing where an Ao Kwang is. And for casuals that are getting tired of Loki ganking you, you can see Loki or Loki disappearing on you. You can see Loki with this. At 5 ranks, Hou gains plus 25% penetration. So he already has built-in penetration with it. And then, yeah. Dive Bomb is a leap, but I have been rooted out of this leap, and it's really awkward. And I question myself every time, but this is really good because it does 230, and it can also go over walls because it's a leap. You get to hang up in the air for some time and know where your enemies are to, like, take some of the heat off of you, and then dive bomb them in person and quickly knocking them back if they have Mark of the Golden Crow on them. And or just like doing all this damage and securing your kill. Sunbreaker is his ultimate, which is 120 plus 25% of physical power for the 9 suns crashing down one by one. So the damage is 120 plus every 9 suns. If they have Mark of the Golden Crow, their speed is slowed by 20% plus 25 seconds on every hit. Duration's 4.5, and also Ricochet can stun for 1 second. And that's basically my top 5. It was FREYA, then Apollo, then NEITH, then Rom, and then Hoi. You can message me on Twitter or freaking post if you have any other comments. If you disagreed with this list, just let me know so I can have an better understanding about hunters. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this list. I will try to bring out lists for the others. I already made a top 5 junglers list. Hope you guys go check that out. Remember, I will put all the social media in the description, so check me out on YouTube, follow me on Twitter, and all that good stuff. Also follow Fam Gaming on Twitter, and I'll catch you out in the next one because I gotta go here. Anyways, guys, stay extreme.